The views and opinions expressed on This Can't Be Adulting are solely those of the host and do not represent or reflect the views of any individual, organization, employer, or entity we may be affiliated with. The content of this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised. Yo, welcome to This Can't Be Adulting, the podcast where two guys who probably should have it all figured out absolutely don't.
Careers, money, relationships. No one handed us a manual, so we're figuring it out the only way we know how, with real talk, deep dives, and a whole lot of laughs.
I'm Herb.
And I'm Derek. And if you're out here wondering, am I doing this right? Trust us, you're not alone.
So hit play, relax, and let's figure this out together.
Yo, what it do? Welcome to This Can't Be Adulting podcast, season 2, episode 14.
Ding, 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 ding. That was
episode
nice.
14.
How did it feel?
What you mean, how did it feel?
How did it feel, bro? How did it
To
feel?
just say episode 14, I guess. It's crazy that we are 36 episodes into the entire podcast.
Man,
The
we
fact
putting them
that
out
we've
there.
dropped 36 episodes already.
When people, every time I guess here recently, I've been more promoting the podcast, but like family members, I would talk to them like, oh, y'all got a podcast, and they'd be like, oh, okay, and then I send it to them like, oh, y'all got like a real podcast. I'm like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
y'all done did like 30 episodes. I'm like, yeah, check us out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
then they're gonna listen. Then they're gonna listen.
Yeah. So I got a family member that's just popping on now. They see I got a real podcast.
In 2026, saying, hey, I got a podcast is like back in the 90s saying like I'm part of a band.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
rap.
I'm a rapper, dog.
I got a mixtape out.
It's like, we got a podcast.
I'm a rapper. Then I put the mixtape. Like, oh, you got a real mixtape out. Yeah, I told you I rap. Yeah, I got a podcast.
We podcast up in his hoe. We podcast.
Welcome back. I know it's been a while. Just a peek behind the scenes. If I look the same,
You don't look the same. I like you. It's been a while. Just recorded, dog.
Just a peek behind the scenes. We had to do a back to back. We were just talking about this. Because I'll be out of town whenever this.
They don't even know how to make this. They don't need to know how the sausage
But
is made.
I thought we was being authentic. He's supposed to be authentic there. I'm supposed to be AI. I just want to give you a peek behind the scene of how the sausage is made.
It's fair. It's a good point.
And I'm actually this just changed the outfits. Now it makes it like this is how we make podcasting magic over here.
That's a good point.
A week later.
Point.
Yeah. So behind the scenes.
Right there.
Hey, look at that. Live and look.
Live right here, bro.
There you go.
Right here, dog.
Thank you.
Right here, dog. Posting on the gram real soon, dog. I mean, out here recorded live.
But as you guys can see, welcome back. Thank you guys. And I think this episode I'm interested to have because
this is a hot subject.
Yes.
I don't know if hot's the right word I want to say, but it's a touchy, it's a sensitive.
Yeah.
It has a lot of people going crazy for really no good reason, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like it's not relevant in the sense of like
Jews say.
Exactly. No, exactly. And a lot of people are like, but I'm not saying that people don't care about it. A lot of people care about this. Completely understand that. But in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about relevancy of what it's doing for our, obviously my personal opinion, what it's doing for our lives financially, wages, all that shit, racial desegregation, any of that shit, I don't think it's fucking relevant at all.
Yeah.
But parents are going to think differently, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And we don't have kids, but without tiptoeing around the subject we're speaking about today is sexuality.
Sexuality.
What
do you mean by that? What specific do you mean by that?
Well, it's funny when you ask that question because I feel like, and I hope, as in true This Can't Be Adulting fashion, we typically go back to, like how do we grow up and what we were taught and what did we learn and how that's evolved. Sexuality, and I'm going to give you the definition, or not definition, I'm going to give you the mindset of it, just a spit out definition without reading off anything. I just remember growing up and just thinking like sexuality is just like, are you gay or straight? That was it.
Yeah.
Now, as I've gotten older, I do look at it more so as like sexuality being what is your sexual orientation, although I don't know why that matters as you spoke earlier, but like what are you attracted to or not attracted to?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I look at as far as sexuality now. Okay,
fair enough. It's tough for me, especially in the world we live in today where the doors have been blown open around this conversation. I'm trying to understand, to your point, like, is there a difference between sexuality, sexual orientation, gender.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so examples of sexuality to me, it's going to be like bisexual, pansexual, asexual, homosexual.
So you're talking about
heterosexual,
sexual orientation.
Sexual orientation. That's what I think more as far as sexuality. I guess sexuality would also include gender and identity, like gender identity and maybe some of the other things that fall under this umbrella that we see, like as you mentioned, these like buzzwords that we hear nowadays. So maybe it is like I ain't taking into full consideration of what sexuality may mean.
And I think this tugs on a bigger problem, and why so many people are up in arms about it is because so many people don't know.
Yes,
and so many people feel like,
or they think
they don't know. Well, I'm thinking more so because they don't know. They don't know what the right thing is to say. They feel like they're going to get attacked. They're going to get this, and this. And I think yes, to an extent, sure. Like that is happening, but again, like I have no problem admitting my ignorance. I don't know about this topic. I don't know the right terminologies at all, to be honest with you. But I'm also not bent in a pretzel about not knowing what the word is today versus what it was 2 days ago. And I think people get really upset about it. Like, oh, what you mean I can't say that? I could say that, blah, blah. And it's like, I get it. It can be frustrating, but like, is it really that affecting your life? Like, there's so many things in life that I'm frustrated with, and then I sit back and look, and I'm like, is this really relevant though? And I'm like, oh no, it's really not. I'll even say, and I hate to, it sounds like I'm literally comparing this incident to sexuality, which is not what I'm trying to do, but like, this is the first thing I'm talking about, just anything in life. I be getting road rage for like 5 seconds.
I feel you.
I get pissed.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong for 5 seconds? And I go, bro, for what? This shit don't even matter. And then I just move on with my every day and I forget about it.
Yeah.
And so like that's the shit that I mean. Like, yes, maybe the guy cut me off. Maybe it could have been like a really bad accident. Okay, but like, what are you gonna do about it now? Like at the end of the day, it was an accident. Someone moves on. Cool, we move on. Maybe they were jerk about it, but like that's it. There's no use in getting bent out of shape about it. And I think that's how I feel a lot about the sexuality conversation, the gender identification aspect of it, the pronoun stuff, where everyone's like, "Well, I just want to say that," because even me sometimes, and yo, I'm a progressive dude, but even me sometimes, like sometimes I hear the pronouns and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, and then I sit down and think about it. I'm like, "But is it really that? Does it really matter to me? Does it affect me at all? Just to hear someone just say what they prefer to be their pronouns?" And then the answer is no, it doesn't matter. Right. I don't care really. And I just let it be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you there. I think the progressiveness and the reason why I kind of like went into like kind of what I was taught growing up, and maybe you could jump into this. Like, is that like growing up, like you were very limited and you couldn't say. This when people were using the F word like. That was out there, and I even looking at myself like growing up, and like I used it growing up, and then I got to one
F word is the word that we would use to refer to gay men.
There we go. Sorry, yeah. And I had a girlfriend I was dating in college, and I had said it in front of her, and she like, whoa, and I was like, if somebody said the N word, like, and I was like, what? I was like, I use this all the time, and she was like, you not supposed to say that, and then it's like, I'm gonna say it, and I fought her on it for a little bit. Then one day I was like, why do I need to say that? Yeah, like I was like, I don't have to get that word off. Like, ain't that like? And it wasn't even like me calling somebody that. I was using it just in reference to like something crazy. But I was like, I don't have to. I can use another word. Like it ain't that big a deal. And I would never say it to any. I would never refer to a person like that, which is like but it took somebody saying it, getting me to like see this and being like, yeah, bro, I don't have to say that word, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and it's not. And I know this isn't the discussion that we're having, but it's the same thing with like saying the N word, where you think about it, and you're like, why do you white people who are like, why can't I say it? You can say, I'm like, why do you want to say it so badly?
Yeah,
what does it affect your life in any way? What positive does it bring to your life?
Because you get to say it.
Yeah,
I want to say
it. That's all it is. It's like this fucking this what's the word I'm looking for? This jealousy. It's envy of just. People are so concerned about what they can say, that they can say or do, that they don't stop to think about whether they should. And that's what pisses me off.
Yes.
Just because you can have an opinion doesn't mean that you should voice it.
Yes.
Just because you can say the N-word and you're not going to go to jail for it doesn't mean you fucking should.
Yes.
And what does it matter?
Yep.
And so, again, this goes back to this whole conversation we're going back to, even with sexuality, with that aspect of it, where I think you had, I don't know how much you want to bring up the situation that you were having with a friend. I don't know if that's what you want to do, but or you could just say a friend I was having this conversation with.
Yes.
But this brings up some good discussion. So
yeah. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who has a younger, I guess she's a younger daughter, and we were having a conversation, and he was speaking about her sexuality and how it's gonna impact her going forward because she feels that she isn't heterosexual. She thinks that she may be a lesbian. And he's like so bent out of shape over this. I was like, why do you care about her sexuality as opposed to like other things that she's dealing with that are far more
important, far more relevant?
Yeah, more irrelevant than like who she's interested in. And not only that, like, what can you do about it? Like, why do you like? How do you plan on controlling this? Because I always look at it from the flip side. Like, I'm not saying that people don't choose to be, and I'm again progressive on this way. Growing is that like your sexuality can be fluid. Like, you don't have to be just this one hetero all your whole life, or homosexual all your whole, or pan, or whatever. Like, you can be fluid on that. I don't care about that. And it really, again, and just getting older, getting more progressive, having more conversation with people that weren't like me, and I know people that were outside of like, what I grew up with, was being like, oh yeah, like it really don't make a difference. Like, this stuff don't matter. And to him, trying to convey like, why do you care? And she's obviously, why do you think she's doing this out of spite? And I know he's just like struggling with it. And I'm like, dude, why do you care about this?
That is. And look,
we're not parents.
We're not parents. I understand that.
And that's what I try to say. I'm not a parent, but and that's what he told me. Like, man, you ain't a parent. You don't get it. And I'm like,
do you think that he felt this way before he was a parent? Do you knew your friend for a very long time?
I don't think it's something he ever thought about. I don't think he never thought about it. He didn't think it was going to be quote unquote him. It wasn't going to happen to him.
Do you have any inclination on how he might have thought about it? I just feel like
I think
because I do know some friends that are like, have joked around growing up, and again, this is growing.
I got a lot of friends like fuck
if I ever had a gay child, like, I don't know what I would do.
I got a whole,
I know that's happened.
I got relatives like that flat out said they're gonna disown their kids if they came out gay. Don't care.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, and I've had that conversation like, why would you care? And they like, man, I wasn't raised that way. Like, no, you've been to jail. You've done all these things, but now you're gonna tell me you're gonna disown your kid when you wasn't there for him for years, and he stood there and he still loved you as his dad, and you wasn't doing anything for him. You're gonna disown him about his sexual orientation because you feel like that make you look weak. I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Preach, brother.
Crazy.
Preach, dog.
And I had to like come to these like, man, I don't have kids, but I truly feel like I don't care. Now I will say this with my parents, the way they raised me, they never had to deal with it, I guess. But they always made me feel like, I mean, I would say this, dating outside my race, they always made me feel comfortable. Like, we don't care who you interested in. Just be happy. I don't care. And it's just the same thing. Like, date who you interested in and be happy.
There's this common misconception that your sexual orientation is a choice. That you are born and you get to go through door number 1, straight.
But nobody did
Door
that.
number 2, bisexual. Door number 3, gay.
Yes.
And people think that that's the choice that they're given.
That's it. That's only 3.
That is not how it works.
That's it.
That's not you.
And whatever door you walk in, there's no coming back out.
Yeah.
Well, not true. You can walk in the straight door, but if you ever walk into any of the, if you're a male and walk into, there's only the straight door, and if you ever come into any of the other doors, you never can go back.
Like
you
that,
can never go back to the straight door. You're gay forever. And it's not even, you couldn't get, like, I grew up, and people back home still don't think, like, girls can be bi, but guys can't be bi.
Nah, right.
That type of stuff, bro.
Right. Yo, bro, the hypocrisy, bro. It's crazy. Most of the people that say that, too, are the most closeted motherfuckers, though.
Yo,
all day. The most closeted motherfuckers all day. And look, I just think that it's funny that people think that it's a choice. And yes, can you choose to experiment? Sure. Can you choose to dim down a part of you that really wants to do, but nobody wants to do that. Yeah. And they think that that's what you need to be doing. And I also find it very interesting that the people that are like, no, it's a choice. I always want to go, bet. So if it's a choice, you would fuck that guy over there?
No,
but it's a choice. Like, you can make the choice. Like you can make the choice to be attracted to someone. So you're saying, like, I couldn't be attracted to that guy, but I'm going to choose to not be attracted to that guy. That's what you're saying. Man. Like, that's what you're saying.
That ain't the way.
That's not how it works, fam. You're attracted to what you're attracted to.
Exactly. But as a human, you know that. Inherently, you know you don't choose who you're attracted to. You're just attracted to them. That's why me and you can go out and see 1,000 of the same women, and we're not going to be attracted to the same ones.
And Herb and I have been that many a time.
Man.
I was actually showing him a girl recently where I was like, yo, I think she's mad cute. Herb, I showed him. He was like, yeah.
And I know and my taste ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody,
Hey,
dog.
now, but that ain't what we asking though.
No, but that's what we asking.
Still though, again, but that's why it's like it's never been a choice. You're just attracted to what you're attracted to, and I don't understand why people get so caught up on other. And again, in this situation, like why parents get caught up on their kids' sexuality, and to the point where he feels that it's even wrong for the education system to even teach sexual education that isn't straight hetero, like male,
which is wild,
heterosexual sex, because he doesn't see any value in teaching anything other than heterosexual sex, because sex is for reproduction. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I've been having all this sex in my life. I've never reproduced. Like, you have all this sex in your life. You got just a few things to show for your all that sex you've been having. Like, nobody's doing it for reproduction. 99.99999% of the time, you're not having sex for reproduction. Like, it's literally for pleasure. And you're like, no, they don't need to teach that to kids. I'm like, bro, if we're gonna teach sexual anatomy, why will we not teach all of, like, if we're gonna have sexual education, and do anatomy and all that,
safe
why
sex.
would we not teach that? And that's
teach safety. It's all about safety
and consent. Like,
yes,
that's the things that we need to be focused on, like how to properly engage in that, how to navigate sticky situations, how to stay away from like all those type of things, right? Like how you, that's the things that are important, as opposed to just telling like, no, it only should be guy and girl, and that's the only way it's gonna work.
And you gotta make a hole, gotta cut a hole in a blanket, and you gotta put it in, and that's
where babies come from.
And that's all it comes down to.
That is not,
that's not how it works.
I hate that.
Such a valid point. I love what you said there, that like 99.9% of the time people have sex, it's not about a reproduction. It's not about reproduction. It's about having a good time. It's about enjoying yourself.
Yes.
And for children, it's not about showing them porn. It's not like saying that, but it's about, look, if you are going to engage in this, here's the right way to
do it.
To give consent, to ask for consent, to do this properly and safely.
Yes.
If you're going to go, this how uncomfortable the conversation makes me. Front door, back door, like these are all things that are gonna happen.
Yes. The experience, the sexual experience, like we teach all of that, and the education part of, like, all of that goes into it. And I feel like they
well, here's the thing, because we started off talking about one thing about like how nobody has a choice, but like I feel for the most part that sounded like we were talking more so about adults. We're talking about children in this situation, and that's when people get a little finicky about it, which I don't know why most of the people that get finicky about it fucking support a PDF. So it's like, it's ridiculous. That does, and that does bring up a different situation, because I feel like the argument for a lot of these people, and not that I agree with this, is that kids are young, they're impressionable. If you're teaching them this, you're teaching them that that this is quote unquote acceptable or whatever, which is a ridiculous argument, but like that's the argument that they make. And then they go, wait till they're adults, wait till they're blah, 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 which to me is insane. But that's the argument that they're going to make.
But that's feel like even I remember like growing up, and this is back to this, like the only way to have safe sex is abstinence, to not have sex at all. And it's like, bro, that's the only way to have safe sex is abstinence. And that was what was like preached in, like, this is what, like, but if you're gonna get risky and try it and experiment with it, they're gonna teach you how to put on a condom and stuff. But a condom doesn't work every time. So the only way to have safe sex is just abstinence. And it's like, you're not helping anybody by with that message at all. Like, you didn't wait until you were married to have sex. Why would you try to preach that to somebody and that's not what's going to happen, as opposed to teaching them, again, like we spoke about, the right way? But again, we speaking on those sexual education there, but it just goes back into like the whole, like, I know the topic here is sexuality, and like why people care so much and get so tied up. And I know it came from the South, and I understand the whole.
No, because it's everywhere. I think for me, we don't learn from history. Sex is a normal thing. Sex is a natural thing that occurs within the human race, within every race, not every race, within every species. Now, granted, with other species, it is strictly on a reproductive levels, except for dolphins. Those are some horny motherfuckers. But like for humans, it's going to be natural. So if it's natural, if sex isn't illegal, Why would you tell someone to practice abstinence? Why would you tell someone you have to wait until this, and this? As opposed to being an open, more free society and education system that says, hey, we're not going to tell you no. We are going to tell you is just to be safe if you're going to engage. And this is why, because what happens when you tell not just kids, right? But like anybody that you can't do something or you shouldn't do something, they're going to do it more.
Yep.
They're going to do it more.
In the wrong way.
And if you're in the wrong way, they're going to hurt someone. They're going to hurt themselves. They're going to, it's ridiculous as opposed to being free and open about it and saying, if you're going to do it, this is how it's going. I promise you, there will be, quote unquote, less sexual deviance than ever before. And this goes back to the whole conversation that I have before. This is my stance on Europe versus the United States. And we are a very conservative country. Like, very conservative country.
Yes.
There is a lot of men who don't know how to take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of essaying that happens in this country. There's a lot of grape that happens in this country.
Yes.
A lot less than happens in Europe. And I'll tell you right now, because here we don't normalize the idea of sex being something that people do. Here we demonize and we teach our children from a young age, especially young boys. Mm-hmm. We teach them if a girl shows shoulder, any skin, she's asking for it. She's a slut. She's promiscuous, and you have to go crazy when you see it. That means she's asking, she wants something. And so boys grow up seeing any skin and they go, oh, she wants something. What's up? And they're going to go do something about it.
How do you sexualize?
We sexualize all these kids.
Boobs.
Adults here sexualize little girls.
Yes.
I was watching this video of this guy being like, how do I teach my girl that my daughter that a 10-year-old shouldn't be wearing a crop top? And it's like, how about you teach your sons how you shouldn't sexualize a girl wearing a crop top that's 10 years old?
I can see both sides.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I think that if you're going to have a conversation with the girl, you have to have 3 conversations with the guy. Yeah. The boys.
Yeah.
You have to have more of a conversation with the boys than you have with the girls because we shouldn't be sexualizing little girls.
Yes.
Or little boys.
Bro, it's like sexual assault or like it's so prevalent and so normalized here in America that like we have girlfriends and friends that are girls or whatever. They've all had experiences. And it's like normalized. It's just like that's just what it is. Like any girl's gone to college, that's like crazy, bro. So many of them have dealt with experiences, and I'm like, whoa, I can't even fathom. Or like girls like in corporate world dealt with these experiences, I can't even fathom. I'm like, holy shucks, and it's just like a normalized thing. It's like, well,
boys will be boys.
She was asking for it.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Like, man,
and we're not even veering off the conversation. This stems from. This is why we need to have education young.
Consent, and we're focused on, well, no, we can't teach them about pleasure. We can't teach, like, we're so focused on trying to demonize these, what we consider to be, these sexuality and stuff, as opposed to focusing on what's the help the kids the most. But I think that's just a failure on, it doesn't even just come down to, like, sexuality and things of sex like that. It's just the system. That's just kind of how it's set up. I don't know why it's set up that way, though.
It's because of patriarchy, really. It's men wanting, I think, and you know me, I always go on the power dynamic thing. I think it's a lot of men, not all of us, but too many, right? And it's been from the time, it's a control thing. It's a control thing in Western society.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes,
That's
absolutely.
what it is. Like, I'm not going to let my woman dress like this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like all this crazy thing where in reality, it's a machine that feeds itself. You tell women that they can't dress, and young girls from a young age, that they can't dress a certain way, they can't show their body a certain way because it means that they're certain something. Women are going to turn that around when they get older and exploit that. And so why do you think we have so much of an OnlyFans fucking community? Mm-hmm. Like, that industry is fucking blowing up. Like, literally, we're run by OnlyFans and AI now. Like, OnlyFans is fucking insane. And then there's men who, like, will say the most heinous comments about it. I'm like, bro, there's a demand. That's it's a demand. It's you buying this shit.
This is going back to like our conversation, how we talk about fast food, where like McDonald's would never doesn't make money off of us. Yeah. Like OnlyFans, it could be out there, but they don't make money off of me.
No.
I don't care about it. And that's the whole thing is like, but if you see somebody that's making millions on OnlyFans, like obviously somebody's paying for this.
A bunch of people that are paying
apparently, so that again, it's the demand that's out there that's feeding the supply. and it's just kind of like, man, it's just
and again, we because sexuality isn't taught properly at a young age, sexuality then becomes an industry. Sex becomes an industry.
Yes.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because young boys have been told, again, going back to that, like any sort of skin, any sort of anything you need to go crazy for, because we don't see skin that often. And if we do see it, oh my God, I can't believe it. And so they turn into these crazed sex monkeys I'm part of this men culture here. What? I don't do any fans. I've never have. I swear to God. That sounded mad guilty. But like, and then women go, okay, sex sells. So I'm going to use my body to get what I want. Because this is the environment and the culture that men have created. So I'm going to exploit it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not? Now I'm going to go make money because I got a great body and I'm going to go show it off. And so we have this whole thing, as opposed to teaching sexuality, teaching sex, teaching all of that properly at a young age, normalizing it and not making it seem this bad thing. I guarantee you things would be so much different. Essaying would be down significantly. It wouldn't be eliminated.
Right.
I'm not saying that. There's no such thing. OnlyFans probably wouldn't even be that big of a fucking industry.
I already know what they're gonna say. So you're just gonna tell the kids to go out and do it, and it's like,
that's not what we're saying.
Why? And if you even look at the correlation between states with the highest teen pregnancy rates and the lowest education, they go hand in hand. Mississippi, highest teen pregnancy rate, education rank, lowest. Arkansas, number 1, number 2 pregnancy rank, bottom 10 in education. New Mexico, top 5 pregnancy rank, bottom 5 in education rank. And I don't want to go down to what if I keep reading out these states, what they all seem to have in common as far as their Arkansas, Mississippi, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Louisiana, West Virginia, Alabama, Texas. Wow. I mean, the colors, they all seem to have the same color. But
all red states.
I mean, I don't want to get into all the politics of this, but again, like we see the correlation between education and teen pregnancy, and yet we don't. We're gonna keep hiding behind it. I was gonna ask, like, even growing up, did you have kids, like girls pregnant in your high school?
We had a nursery in our high school.
Dang.
Downstairs. There was a lot of teen pregnancy in my high school.
Same.
A lot of teen pregnancy in my high school.
Same. I remember, like, girls would get pregnant, like, from the 8th grade on. There was always a girl pregnant from 8th, like, every single.
I knew a girl that got pregnant at 12.
Yeah, 8th grade.
8th grade is around.
I was going to ask you, like, as far as, like, sexuality is, like, what were you taught growing up? Do you remember being taught about sexuality?
Not really. Not outside of what was shown to me in sex ed class.
Yep. And it was 7th grade. I took it in 7th grade. I remember taking it.
Yeah. Take 7th grade. And so that, and again, this even brings up a whole thing. When you don't get taught it, you go and seek out your own knowledge.
Yes.
And you go seek it out in the wrong places. You go to porn.
Exactly. That is
you go
not
to
where
fucking
you
porn.
learn.
Men go to porn.
Not need to learn. Sexual education is not through porn. I'm going to say that one more time. You do not learn about sexual education through porn. Entertainment only. Entertainment only.
And I can't even tell you how many problems, particularly in men, addiction, porn addiction, and it's also like this unrealistic idea of what sex is and how it's supposed to be, and how you bring that into the bedroom, and then you're like, you start thinking all these extreme things, asking for extreme things, when it's like, this shit's not even real, all because of lack of real, concrete, good sex education.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the conversation around sexuality.
Yeah. And it's even more prevalent now than it was when you and I were growing up, because kids nowadays have it on their phone. Like, I remember just, like, growing up and, like, to watch an adult film.
I remember Spice Channel.
You had to, like, bro, this is going to sound not the most masculine or maybe not the most heterosexual thing, but, like, if a person had an adult film, like, you might have a watch party, bro. Like, several of y'all might just have to get together.
I got the video, dog.
That's the only way we're gonna be able to watch it. You didn't get to watch it on your own. So, like, and then you have to go home and just think about the shit. But like, nowadays they just literally, you just bring it up on your phone. It's right there at their fingertips. So it's so important for them to even, like, because of
even
what
more
they
important now.
have access to preach about this. But it seems like it's going the opposite direction, where they're, like, trying to be, like, make it more like, oh, we got to be even more conservative, more or stringent, and more rigid. Or
talk about it less, and people want it more, and kids want it more, and they go seek it out, bro. That is the biggest problem right there, in my opinion.
and to tie up with the sexuality conversation I was having with my friend is like, what are the conversations you having? And it's not he's not having the consent conversation and how to safely do it. He's having you shouldn't be doing this conversation. It's like, oh my God, what is going on? And I was just thinking back to myself, and I tried to tell him, like, me and you grew up together. We never thought about our sexuality.
Never.
And he's like, exactly. And I'm like, what do you mean exactly? We never thought about it. We still don't think about it. Like, you never had to think about it. And I'm like, but you're demonizing somebody else because theirs doesn't line up with what yours is. And it's like, man, and it's almost like you're making this person's identity all about their sexuality. You over hyping it, and when you don't have to, and you're making this person you're making it worse than what it is. It's like you're flaming the fire, and it's like, if you didn't focus on this and focus on something else, like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
I just think it's like, what's more important to you, your child's sexuality, or if they're happy,
or what people saying about you in the neighborhood?
And that's what you're thinking, bro. Like, I promise you, if you're doing this to your child, obviously someone that's childless, but I can just imagine, like, you're pushing your child away. You're gonna make life so much harder for them by you not accepting.
But you ain't got no kid. What do you know about it?
Right. And it's like, come on, bro.
I gotta tell. Like, I hear you, but I just feel like, that can't be that's not the answer for this question.
No, that's not it.
And it's just, that's what you're gonna hear back. But
it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. So this episode is gonna be titled "Sex and Sexuality." We're gonna do sexuality, but I think sex obviously ties into it so much more.
Yeah.
But the sexuality thing is too. Is like, here's the reality of it. Like, bro, like, your friend, other people think that this is like some new phenomenon. And they think it's a new phenomenon because they're like, look how many more gay people there are now. I'm like, no, fam. There's always been a lot of gay people.
That is another thing I was brought up to. Like, bro, there's not an influx of gayness. It's just,
there's just an openness now because it's more accepting.
Yes.
Some might say.
Yeah.
It's more accepting. And people, and just people who are now gay are just like, nah, fuck that. I'm tired of being made feel like I'm less than. I'm a human being too. This is why we have gay pride.
Yeah.
People don't understand, well, why can they have a month? There's no straight pride month because there's no need for a straight pride month, bro. Nobody's demonized straight people, bro. No, nobody in power has, at least.
Yeah.
The people in power are all quote unquote straight. Again, most of them are just closeted motherfuckers anyways.
Yeah.
And it's this idea that they just can't comprehend. Why is there a Pride Month? Why is there a Black History Month? Oh, I don't know, because we fucking have oppressed those two communities for hundreds, if not thousands of years, that they're now just being like, yo, I'm proud of being who the fuck I am.
Yeah, see,
that's it.
I don't see color, and I don't, and sexuality is a choice.
Yeah,
like, what in the heck? But the reason I was asking about like what you were talking growing up, because I think we both kind of went to that whole sexuality. Now, speaking of sexuality, do you ever feel like, not something you ever struggle with, but it's something you ever like, even as you gotten older, has it changed? Do you ever think about like,
my sexuality?
Yeah, like, do you ever, like, has it evolved over as you gotten older? I guess I don't know how it evolved. I guess we have to define what we're saying by it's like sexuality, because definitely not saying like hetero or homo or anything like that, but I guess just thinking of like
my ideas on it, maybe.
Yes.
Are you saying like how I think about it, not necessarily my own sexuality?
Yes.
That's what you were saying. Yes. And you know who helped me a lot with that? You did. With a lot of the conversations. With what you were saying earlier, with just like, yo, it doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't affect me type of a thing. I think, like we said, like growing up, like, I don't know what I was saying, but I would say the F word all the time. Like we said, I've said this before. We say it all the time. There's always a joke. Oh, you're gay. Even to this day, there's still jokes that come out like that with some of my friends and stuff come out. And it's like, it's cringe. I try to stay away from it because I know that it's wrong. But like, yeah, when I was younger, I was definitely more of a homophobic person. And there was more of like, we had one gay kid in our high school, and he didn't give a fuck. I'll tell you that much. And in hindsight, I'm like, that motherfucker was brave as shit.
Yeah.
But I think he even made himself extra flamboyant to be like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm fucking gay. I think
that's what we saw.
That's what he had to do.
It was one or two ways.
He was just flamboyant as shit. And now I understand why. But obviously, as I've gotten older, my mentality 100% changed, because it did come down to like, that doesn't affect me. Like, who cares if they're gay? You know what? Good for them knowing who the fuck they are and what they like. I'll tell you right now, there's so many people that pretend to be something that they're not.
Yep,
and I'm not even just talking about sexuality. I'm talking about just in general.
Who you are, as a person.
Just being who you are. People fake that because they're too scared of what XYZ thinks about them.
Yep.
And so for me, it was a sense of like, damn, like, that's some real shit. Like, I don't give a fuck who you like, what you like, how, as long as it's consensual.
That's
and
the only thing I focus on.
And,
2 adults, 2 consenting adults, and everybody, no one gets hurt.
Or 3 or 4 or 5.
However many. Yeah.
As long as everyone's consenting.
Yeah, consent, sign up. But that's all I care about. That's honestly all I've ever cared about when it comes to like sexuality. Like, bro, if they 2 consent, I don't have to lay next to the person. I don't care. I don't have to be into it. I don't care. What difference do it make?
Yes.
To me, are you a good person or not? And your sexuality has nothing to do with me making that determination on
Not at all.
At all. So that's how I've always looked. I'm sorry. That's not how. That's how I've grown to look at it.
That's how I've grown. That's what I'm saying. Yes,
like growing up, man. I mean, it was everywhere. It was preached to me. Like even in the Bible, like the worst thing you could literally be was gay.
Yep.
Like
you were a churchgoer. You were huge, heavy. That's right.
And there was nobody growing up. There was nobody that came out. Now there was a dude that we all knew that he's our cousin. We all knew he was gay. He was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
But he was also like he's a very athletic, like muscular dude. So like he didn't come out until eventually once he got out of high school he came out. But nobody was surprised. And I see it. I even see it now thinking back. It's like family members struggling with it, and you know that they struggle with their sexuality and they just can't come out because of our family. And it's like 2020. I'm like, I don't care. It don't bother me. Love who you love, but I also understand why they don't want to, because we do have family members who are legit like, oh, that's the worst thing ever. Disown kids, relatives, whatever. And I'm like, man, that's just.
I've got close gay cousins and uncles in my family, and like. It's never been a thing. Like, it's never been a thing that anyone looks at anybody differently, at least not to my knowledge. Now, I haven't had these conversations with them. I'm sure that they can tell me, there's been some tough times with this, but like, at least today, it seems like it's within the family. It's all fucking love. Like, it is what it is. I got a transsexual cousin. You know what I mean? Like, and so, that one was a little bit of a harder pill to swallow for some people, for sure.
Yep.
For me, no.
Yeah.
For me, but I also don't have a close relationship with them. So
I'll be honest, I've had to come around to even like the whole transsexual thing. At first, like it was like, oh, like people get to identify what they want and this whole thing, and like, and when you and I've had these conversations, like, and you turn on fucking the Fox News and you see like transgenders are taking over teenage sports, and like you turn it on and like, oh my god, you see another transgender person taking on the sports, and I'm like, oh man, hell no, man, well, that's what mixed up. And then like me and you had the conversation like who. What are you talking about? Who cares? Who knows? Like, it doesn't matter, and it's not really happening, and it don't even matter. Like, who cares?
There's a total of like 10 kids in the entire United States.
And whose scholarship has they taken away?
Right.
Who are they replacing?
They make it seem like it's this fucking epidemic of crazy proportions, and that's what's affecting grocery prices, and that's what it's affecting your cost of living
every day.
And it's like, no, it's not
every show every day. And it's like, and a person that comes on and talks about this shit, like, dude, you can't afford gas is $6 a gallon in California. Y'all jumping on here talking about the transgender who won at some class A regional track and field meet, and like, who the hell cares?
Shit, it's just not relevant.
Like, man, bro,
and they try to play that old ploy because they want to point at this so that you're not looking at this. We just triple tapped a girls' school in Iran. That's what we did. We killed 160 little girls, but you want me to be worried about this trans athlete playing in West Virginia?
Bro,
West Virginia passed a law 2 years ago targeting trans students. There was 3 of them. 3 of them playing in sports. 3 of them. Meanwhile, like you just said, West Virginia's bottom 10 in education.
Bro,
why don't you go worry about educating your fucking students? Why are you targeting trans people?
It's the trans that's affecting it.
Bro,
I can't learn because I got a trans in the school. Trying to go into the bathroom.
It's like, insane. It's again, people care, but it's not relevant. That's just relevant. I had this argument with a friend who does listen to the podcast, who's progressive as hell. I'm not going to drop no names. But he kept texting me. He was like, I just don't understand why Democrats just can't be like, when they ask him, do you want men to play in sports, women's sports, to just say, no, of course not. And I'm like, bro, because that's not happening. It's not happening. It's not relevant. That's why when you give it credence, when you give it air, people are going to jump on it. Why we even talk about this shit? I don't need to answer that question because it's not happening. It's irrelevant. He's like, nah, man.
Even one case is too many. Even one case?
But even our boy was like, nah, man, if, you know what I'm saying, if like there was a boy, I'm not letting a boy fucking, go into karate with my girl and kick her in the face and blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, that's not happening. Why are you thinking about that, bro? Like, that's irrelevant.
Not happening.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. Yet You will swear it's right. I mean, it's every. It's
but he even
prevalent.
got him. But he even got him, and he's a super progressive. That's what I mean. Like even got him.
Oh yeah, like, I'm
You
telling
know
you,
what I
this
mean?
is something I just had to recently come around to,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel like I've always been progressive. And again, playing sports, I'm like, no, man, it's not fair to let dudes play in sports with girls, and that ain't cool. And then it's like once you get peeling back the apple and getting an understanding of what's going on, like, oh no, bro, it's not like some dude is just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do the girl thing.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm about. I ain't good at this boy stuff. I'm going to do the girl thing. That's not what's happening. And it's like once you see, like, oh man, that's not the case. And again, how many people have been displaced, affected negatively by this situation? You know, this trans athlete or whatever, and it's like you see that in zero. But if you turn on the news again, they're gonna say even one case is too many. Even just one instance of trans athletes taking over some girl sport is too many. I'm like, bro, like 20 kids got killed today at a school. That's not one too many.
Yeah,
we gun law. Whoa, we can't talk about that.
Talk about the gun laws. Don't do that.
No.
There's just one bad actor, man. We can't talk about that.
The trans thing's crazy. So yeah, like I just think again, I hope people could evolve. I know we're kind of going around with the sexuality thing, but I just think that again, education is key, and I just wish we looked at it differently.
But even I'll go on that. But just to maybe just add on to this real quick, because I did want to talk about this. I also think it's hilarious that the people that are concerned about men playing in women's sports are the same ones that shit on women's sports all the time, don't support it. The same ones that support a PDF, the same one that fucking probably have essayed people, the same ones that disrespect women. You mean to tell me you're doing this for the sanctity of women's sport? Bitch, you don't give a fuck about women's sports.
Yep.
You don't care.
Yep.
Stop acting like you do. All of a sudden you care on this particular thing, man. Fuck off, man. Y'all don't care about protecting women
at all.
At all. It's just this whole like grandstanding, this whole performative bullshit, dog.
Yeah, and it be the main ones be dressed up at night in dresses.
Like,
bro, like,
all day. Christy Noem's husband.
Like nobody, bro, be the main ones. Even like, dude, if you want to be that, be that.
Nobody's even saying that you shouldn't.
That's the thing. Like nobody even.
It's the hypocrisy.
It's the hypocrisy. Like, bro, if that's what you want to be, fine, but don't be out here demonizing people, then going around. And that's what pisses me off, because again, you mentioned it, the main ones that be on the homophobic stuff, that be so hell bent against it, be the main ones that be the closeted ones, and you're just trying to figure out, like, we're over here advocating, saying live your life, and you literally over here shitting on the same people that's in your own community. Now that's hard to fathom. I don't understand that, but I also know that we live in this, God-fearing world, or God-fearing country, and as you mentioned, like other nations don't sexualize everything, so it's not they don't have to deal with they have a better understanding and a better relationship when it comes to like sexuality, SA, and all those types of things, and consent.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
When I tell you, man, being in Europe, man, I just remember being in Barcelona a few years back. And I remember we were at the beach, and at the top of the beach, and bro, when I tell you my neck was breaking left and right as an American. Oh my God, these women are beautiful. Like the way that women were dressed out there is different from they're out here. And you know what? Not a single European was breaking his neck. He was not. You know why? Because it's just normal.
Yes. They
were raised to be like, I'm not saying every one of them, right? Yeah. But they were raised to be like, this is normal. They're just women dressed.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily looking for attention. They're just dressed. I don't need to break my neck like a fucking creep.
There was just as many. There was more dudes out there with their shirts off. You wouldn't break your neck.
Correct.
Nobody was breaking their neck.
Correct.
Then. So it's kind of like, obviously, it's not an issue with the normalization, or it's not an issue with people being
actual showing skin.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. That's not the issue. It's the person that's interpreting
it's
that.
It's the interpretation that we've been told here.
Yes.
Everyone could tell I was fucking American out there.
Yeah.
Because of the way I was breaking my neck. Y'all Americans, man, mad conservative, you fucking weirdos.
Perverts.
But I mean, like that all comes down to education early on.
Absolutely.
Education about sex, education about sexual orientation, education about sexual identity. Like the whole sexuality, the whole 9 yards.
Yep. Yeah.
Shit that we don't have out here. And so it's fucking infuriating, man. It's fucking infuriating.
I agree. I just, again, hope, just having those conversations with, again, people close to us, and just seeing what even people know how this person is a progressive person. Like, I know a lot of times we speak about, a lot of times we spoke about the conservative, but sometimes the call is coming from inside the house.
Coming from inside the house.
And I'm like, man, bro, I didn't think that you would be caring about this, but I guess.
It's funny because it's what I have realized the past 2-3 years specifically is that there's different factors to the left side of the political spectrum. Before growing up, I used to think you're a Democrat, you're good, you're to the left, that's what we want to be. That's not the case, because you got your centrist Democrats, you've got your liberals, which everyone thinks, oh, you want to be liberal? I don't even identify as liberal. They're too center for me. You've got your progressives and you've got your super lefties.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the people that we associate with, they get down with certain things, but in reality, they're Democrats or they're like centrists,
centric left, yeah.
or they're liberals.
Yeah.
And there's some things that they fuck with you, but there's other things they're like, well, no, I gotta draw the line here. And it's like, but see, you're not really a lefty. You're not really a progressive then. If it's I'm only cool when it comes to racial things, but when it comes to sexual orientation things, I kind of understand where the right's coming from. It's like, nah, like it's shit that you understand, and that's what you're saying. Like, even me, like I always considered myself left of the political spectrum, but growing up, I was doing and saying homophobic things, and I thought of things very differently. And I've moved way to the left. I consider myself progressive, if not almost just like super left. Like I'm a leftist now.
Okay.
Type of a thing. And to me, that means an acceptance of everyone for who they are.
Yes.
Truly who they are. Again, the authenticity and the being genuine. I think that's why it's so hard for people to be authentic, because there's always a judging aspect of it, not just from people and your community, which is probably one of the hardest things, but like policy-wise. Politically wise, like there's still the systems that are in place.
Yes, I was literally explaining to
so people can't be authentic.
I talk about oppression on like LGBT community, and I was like, bro, it's literally been in our lifetime we just seen that they were legalized to even be married. Like, bro, this ain't something that was back in the 60s. Like
2015, Ogefer versus I can't remember what I think it was Ogefer. You'll put.
But yeah, I was like, bro, Obama, like that didn't just happen. Like, bro, we seen this. This isn't some old issue that we're talking about,
and they're trying to repeal it.
Again, but just showing like, but this issue isn't something that like, people are like, oh, this, like, I'm so tired of them talking about this. So like, bro, they literally just got the rights.
Yeah,
like, people are, just to be able to love each other freely.
What a place of privilege to come from to be like, I'm tired of hearing this. What a place of privilege,
man.
It's crazy.
Yep.
If that's what you're concerned about, again, this goes back to even like using the pronouns and stuff like that. Like I've caught myself being like, man, I think these pronoun things are stupid. I've caught myself, and then I go, wait a minute. Like, what does it fucking matter to you?
That's not I have to go back to. Like,
it don't matter to me. They want to say he, she, they. Okay.
Yeah, and as long as you give me a little bit of
grace,
to mess it up, be like, okay, I'm gonna get that right. You absolutely right. I need to address you about what you want to be called. And I don't like. I do that with everybody else I meet. I call them what they want to be called.
Yeah.
People all kind of crazy nicknames. Somehow I remember it, and that's what I call them. So what's the issue?
I don't think about what the issue is. It's insane, and I think that just comes with maturity and being cognizant, and also like, again, I say this all the time. People hate to be wrong in today's society now, bro. Like, it's such a bad thing. It's such a damning thing, and so people will dig in and twist themselves in a pretzel to rationalize a belief that they have. Too many people are tied to beliefs, and not enough tied to values. Ooh. And you see this with what's going on with Trump. People believe in Trump. Yeah, that's a belief system, and they've completely thrown their values out the door.
You can't have no values with that person. But yes, Zach, I know I see exactly.
Yo, don't be tied to your values. I mean, don't be tied to your beliefs. You got to be tied to your morals and values. Let that be your guiding compass, your North Star of what your beliefs end up being. Yes. But your beliefs, you got to be able to review, investigate, and possibly change courses on some of your beliefs.
Absolutely.
Based off of evidence and stats.
Absolutely. Again, I know it just, again, in recent years, this just happened where I've gotten around on I know the pronoun things became, I would say, a hot topic, but for me to be like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like, just call them what they want to be. And the total trans athlete, that's misblown. That's not real, bro. That's fake.
It's not a real thing.
So it's just like, man, bro, like, just let people, again, be who you are, be a good person, and all that. That's all that should matter. And judging people for what? Like, who even gives you the right to judge? Like, I don't want nobody judging me.
Yeah.
You don't want them judging yourself, but you're gonna judge somebody else, and it's like crazy.
It's
like
crazy, bro.
But
every fucking, what's the word that they say? Every projection is an admittance or something like that. I'm not saying that right. Is an admission. Is an admission.
Okay.
Every fucking projection of something or I can't think of it, is a fucking admission.
And I thought you were going to be like when you point one finger at me, you point three back at yourself.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to hit me
with. I don't know who points like that, by the way. Oh yeah, there it is. I point like that. I point like that. No, but this is 3.
Yeah, you pointing right back at you. Yeah. Now we gotta put the whole sexuality. Now we gotta put the plus 18 kids on it now. No.
That was a super interesting conversation. I don't know where that was gonna go.
Yeah,
I don't know how that was gonna go. Let us know. And I always say this too. When we edit our podcast, when I say we, I mean her. When I her about it, we don't edit in or out what we actually say in the podcast.
Right.
We're just cutting noises that might happen. We're aligning audios. Like that's what's happening.
Uncut.
It's like this shit's uncut. Like this is unfiltered. Yes. What we say is what we say, and it's out there for the ether. And we understood that our words might be scrutinized. What I will say is, give us grace if maybe we misspoke, if maybe we said something on any episode, not just this one.
Yes.
Because these are sensitive subjects, unfortunately, in today's world.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that we don't need to be held accountable or have to take a look at something that we might have said that may have been harmful in any way. You can definitely call us out. So what I say is, give us grace, because I have no problem in admitting when I'm wrong, if I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, nothing malicious by it. But even if it's accidental, please let us know.
We understand that, like, intent and impact. Maybe it wasn't our intent, but it might have an impact. And if it does, for real, call that to our attention, and we can certainly address that and talk about it. I think we're okay. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that more as a disclaimer for every episode. I also think that the issue with the world today too is that we also don't give ourselves enough grace anymore.
Yes.
And people are real quick to harp down someone's throat for misspeaking.
Like this gotcha.
Thing. Yeah,
and
like
the whole thing.
Just the gotcha. You said this one time. It's like, you know what? I did, and that's not what I meant. However, I understand how that came off, and I'll take heat for that.
You can't even do that nowadays. They're gonna run a commercial and be like, "You don't eat meat."
And honestly, it's on both sides too. It's not.
That
is definitely on both sides.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people that began called out hard, and it's like, bro, that's not what I meant. That's not how I really feel about it. But so you got to give each other grace, because we are gonna mess up. Everyone's gonna mess up. So it is what it is. Anything else you want to add, Herb? Because
I think that was good.
Hey man, let's go into some fun facts. I think you went first last time, so I'm gonna go first this time. So this one is crazy to me. One of the many podcasts that I listen to is called Science Versus.
Okay.
Science Versus is hosted by Wendy Zuckerman. She is an Australian chick who does this podcast about trends and crazy hot topics in place, and says this is what's being said about it. Let's tell you what science actually says about it. For example, one of her last ones she just did was on the hantavirus.
Okay.
You heard of the hantavirus, right? That thing's always coming around. She said, let me actually talk about what this is. So there was one episode I listened recently about can you get pregnant without a vagina? And I was like, oh, this is an interesting episode.
Okay.
All right. And so she talked about this infamous case, one case that happened in 1988 in Lesotho. Lesotho is the one country that's like inside South Africa. That's like a little island.
Boy. Okay.
It's right now. That's super interesting. A 15-year-old girl with congenital vaginal agenesis, congenital vaginal agenesis, was born without a vagina. That's what that means. Okay. She was born without a vagina, and she ended up giving birth. She got to the hospital with stomach pains. Didn't know she had, she was pregnant for 9 months. And they look in and they're like, you have a baby in there. She's like, I don't have a vagina. What do you mean? So the condition is super rare. It results in a lack of a vaginal canal.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Vaginal canal, which means you can't have sex, though. There's no penetration.
Yeah.
But she possessed a functional uterus,
ovaries. That's what I was thinking. Like,
and fallopian tubes.
Okay.
All right. So then how do you get pregnant?
I thought it was going to be like a test tube or something. Like she was like artificially inseminated.
No, she's 15 years old. She didn't know. 15 years old, 1988. There was none of that. Lesotho, South Africa. She wasn't like, hey, let's do this testing. Bro, the chances of this happening, of what happened to her get pregnant, is, we talking about winning the lottery. Bro, it's got to be higher than this. It's got to be like 1 in a trillion.
Yeah.
She was working. She worked like at a restaurant or a bar, and she was hooking up with one of the guys at the bar.
Yeah.
Her ex-boyfriend showed up and caught them in the back hooking up, and she was giving this guy a blowjob.
Yeah.
She was giving this guy a blowjob. Her ex-boyfriend showed up, got fucking crazy. A fight broke out. He busts out a knife, stabs him, stabs her in her abdomen, stabs her in her abdomen. She gets rushed to the hospital. It was like some crazy ass shit, blah, blah, blah. She ended up surviving. 9 months later, she showed up to the hospital. Yo, my fucking stomach hurts. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah. And they looked, oh, you're in labor. So they had to deliver the baby C-section, obviously. They cut her open.
Okay, yeah.
Healthy baby boy.
Okay.
Did the blood test. The baby was the guy that she was giving oral sex to.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like, but you don't have a vagina. Like, what the fuck happened? What ended up happening was he ended up ejaculating in her mouth.
Yeah.
She swallowed. The cum got down to the abdomen area at the same time that the guy stabbed her with a knife, pulled out, stabbed again, and got the semen into her uterus.
What?
Bro, the fucking
you can't make
kids,
this movie.
You can't make this. This is
true.
real. This is up in Google.
AI.
This is real shit.
This is
1988, AI. Bro. It's all over. It's like one of the most famous fucking stories ever. And she had a healthy baby boy. Now, there's more intricacies into it. I don't know the intricacies of how exactly it was the right time that something opened and that it got in there because semen can't survive like on a...
Right.
Bro, but it was all just like perfect timing.
Because it must have been like encapsulated into the blood, surrounded with the blood, didn't hit the oxygen, shot back into there. Man, I'm over here playing science. Man, that is wild.
Yeah, it says... Physicians hypothesize that a combination of physiological factors and the timing of the abdominal trauma allowed for the rare migration of reproductive cells into the abdominal cavity. This resulted in the fertilization of an egg and a subsequent abdominal pregnancy that successfully migrated to the uterus, and the baby was born healthy.
You know, if she had a vagina and tried to tell the story, people would say she lied.
Right.
Like, you lying.
Yeah,
you lying. Yo.
Well... Nobody would have investigated it. Well, nobody would have investigated at that point. She probably wouldn't even known either, unless she didn't have sex.
What if she like I'm a virgin? Yeah. I'm 15. I'm a virgin. I've never actually did it, but yeah, I've done other things.
That's a good point.
They would not believe you. Like, no, you're lying. You're a liar. They'd put you like you would go to jail. You couldn't get a scientist, a biologist to come in there and plead your case for you. They would not.
Might have. You might be able to do like a.
Not if you're the first one.
But if you, that's true. And in 1988,
yeah, you would not.
Bro, that story blew my mind, bro. I said, what?
I still can't believe that.
What?
And the ex-boyfriend's the fault, bro. You know what you did to her?
Yeah, dog. Not only did you stab her, you got her pregnant, bro.
Not your baby. If I was the dude that was like in the bathroom, like, yo, this is safe. I ain't got to worry about having no kids. I ain't trying to get involved.
I ejaculated her mouth. We're good.
Talk about the baby. You're that ain't my baby. What you baby looking just like you? Like, wait a second.
I never have.
Ow. What? I didn't even get the. Oh my God! Let me tell you let me tell you about how you got here. It ain't the way you think,
bro. Still, I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, I was listening to that podcast and I said, "What the fuck?" So it made me think about it today because we were talking about sexuality and what I don't know. It was one of those things. Apparently, you can have a baby without a vagina.
I would have never believed that. Never would have believed that.
Yeah,
if it didn't happen, I would never. Okay, well,
all right.
Mine a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
I mean, I guess it ties into the sexuality part, but it's more so around. I'm sure you've heard of Genghis Khan,
of course,
and the whole rumor of how we're all, or how many people he's, how many kids I guess he had or whatever,
I heard about
and how we all may be, related to Genghis Khan or whatever.
I mean, you and I look a little Asian, so
yeah. But the whole genetic thing comes. It's just in 2003, a landmark study published in the American Journal said that roughly 1 in 200 men alive today, about 16 million men, carry the same identical Y chromosome lineage traced back to a common ancestor living in Mongolia around the time of Genghis Khan, and that's why they say that 0.5% of the world's male population is.
He was just raping women.
Yeah, he had. Yeah. He was an emperor. He had many wives,
and we're
concubines.
We're also not talking about like 20,000 years ago. We're talking about like 800 years ago. They were like, this was in the 12th century, right? 13th
Correct.
century.
Yep. He lived from 1680 to 1227.
Yeah.
So, like I say, 12th, 13th century.
So this was like recently in evolutionary times. Damn.
Yep.
So he got that many people.
5%.
Bro, that's crazy.
16 million.
Yeah, you know what? I did my CRI genetics test, and I didn't have Mongolian in me, but I had some Asian in me. For sure. I had Sri Lankan. I had Japanese.
Where does that come
Chinese
from?
Han. Yeah, I'm like 2% Asian.
I mean, is that something in South America?
Humans migrate, bro. It's crazy.
That's fair.
Yeah, like 2%. I think like 2% African. 0.1% African American. 0.1%. I'm that black kid with the shit in his hair, remember? You said it. Don't forget, dog.
Wait, how they consider you African American? I'm not. They don't consider me African American. I'm 100% African American, but they bust mine down to.
Did they? I'll show you right now. Let me see. Let me put this up. I haven't gone through
Wait
this
a second.
Bro. Wait a minute. This isn't
African American can be something that someone else is, but they don't.
Yeah, right here it says African. I'm 2.4% African. It says I'm 0.8% Isan in Nigeria. I'm 0.8% Luya in Kenya. I'm 0.4% African Caribbean, 0.2% Gambian, 0.1% Mende in Sierra Leone, and 0.1% African American. Right at the bottom. That's what it says.
Because I would be 100% African American, but
depends on what test you did. This is CRI Genetics. This is a small.
I'm gonna have to. Company. I'm gonna have to. Because they don't.
There's my Asian. 2.9% East Asian.
Yeah,
Japanese, Chinese.
Genghis Khan might be your great granddad.
Chinese. Yeah, Northern Chinese, and then I got a whole lot of European in me. God dang it.
See, I was 20% European.
Well, this test right here is 2 tests. It was one going back 5 generations and one going back 1,000 years. This is the 1,000 years one.
Okay, yeah.
That's where all that, because if you just go back 5 generations, I'm, is it over here? Yeah, it's right here. I'm 49% Colombian, 1.6% Peruvian, and then 49% European actually. German, Italian, British,
5
French.
generations?
Yeah, I'm 16% German, bro. That's a lot of German. 15.2% Italian. 7.6. Anything more than 1% is like kind of a lot. Like 2% and anything like that's kind of a lot actually.
Why?
I don't know. It just sounds right.
No, shit. I thought you had some science over here. Yo.
To still be showing up in your system though? If you think about it, how much it would take to dilute that I think it comes down to like the amount of people it would take, the amount of generations it would take to dilute it to 2%.
Yeah.
I don't know what the math is. I'm suspecting it's probably like 4 or 5 generations, something like that. Meaning that like my great grandfather, somebody was like full.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
all right, bro. Well, we almost ready. Well, you did it again.
Shout out to my grandpappy Genghis Khan.
And I'm me over here checking in to see what my African American, what my percentage is on African American as far as on my 23andMe. I think 23andMe. I gotta go see how much African American I am.
We'll do that.
We'll see.
All right, bro. Wait that out, bro. Peace, yo.
Peace.